Hey, sports fans and life fans. So I'm out here feeling grateful to be able to do a little work out in nature this morning in the sunshine that's particularly strong for an October morning. The new moon is in Libra today. Libra's themes of balance, harmony, communication, compromise, diplomacy, cooperation, beauty. I'm thinking about what matters is where we put our attention. And thinking about sports this morning, a few different topics come to mind. One thought is that these squirrels right now must be focusing on the Rangers blowing their game last night. Instead, I'm choosing to celebrate the Lions win. You might not know that I root for Detroit sometimes. And, thinking about posting this, I thought, gosh, how many times have you been on social media and been like, how are people posting about the most trivial things when there's such profound, life events and human suffering going on in the world? And I get that. And yet it's so important that we still claim our own right to peace and joy and contributing to the frequency of love and harmony and peace and joy, all the positive parts of human experience. Let's face it, not to minimize what's going on in the world, but the truth is there is always going to be some suffering going on somewhere, and we've all experienced some degree of suffering in our lives, but we also get to experience the whole spectrum of human experience if we're fortunate enough. And my point is that we don't need to feel guilty. You don't need to feel guilty for doing what makes you happy during the same time that others might not be experiencing that type of happiness. And we can hold the energy of compassion for others and for what's going on in the world, and at the same time be of service in whatever ways you're called to. And that looks different for all of us. Some people might even argue that one of the most powerful ways to be of service, when you don't feel very powerful, you feel powerless over all that's going on in the world, is to simply, in the present, do what brings you joy, do what feels good. And often that is being of service. How can you focus on how you can help someone else or brighten someone else's day today in your own microcosm, in your own community, versus focusing on the big things that might feel scary and out of control or that you can't affect. Maybe we can influence it if enough of us are doing the right thing and focusing on these higher frequency states of being, ways of living in the now. The other thing I was thinking about is, I mentioned the throat chakra the other day, and the throat chakra, the energy of that is blue. It's kind of funny. Pretty much all my favorite sports teams have always had been blue. From when I was really little and was fond of the Dodgers, Brooklyn and LA, and then of course the New York Mets in their heyday, the Yankees, the Giants, but of course the New York Rangers, the Lions, which I enjoy rooting for. They were my brother's original team. University of Michigan, basketball in the mid-90s, UConn women in particular. The list goes on. Buffalo Bills these days, and of course, congrats to Toronto Blue Jays who won last night, and let's go Dodgers in the series. And again, these things sound trivial, but sports are kind of, speaking of microcosms, they represent, I think, humanity and our experience, our life experience, and the ability to come together in body and mind and spirit and enjoy healthy competition and teamwork and just celebrating life. So it's okay if you're posting about your sports team or your cat or whatever brings you joy today. Just embrace what brings you joy and know that you might be helping the world at large simply by being in the present and finding what brings you joy.